Well, everyone, it's been a while in preparation for this. We've been expecting this for a while, and it's probably a bit delayed, but it's finally here, everyone. It's finally here. That's right. Snapcube finally put out the Shadow the Hedgehog fan dub.
Yes.
Yes. So we're finally doing the White Album, but
I've already watched
it's
Shadow the Hedgehog twice.
Yes, it's not the important thing of this week, unfortunately.
Mm-hmm.
Great fan dub, honestly, fucking great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was very excited to watch it with a friend of mine, and then they were like, "Well, you know what? Let me watch it by myself first. I might laugh at different things than you, and that might get weird." I'm like, "Okay, fine. I'll watch it by myself."
The scene with the audio settings and let me adjust them.
It's great.
I've upgraded my audio settings.
Yeah, that was the peak. Anyway,
Yeah.
But we actually are doing an episode here. We are finally doing the White Album episode where we're doing 3 different White Albums. It's taken a while. Dominic, I've already stolen enough thunder. You want to go back to your normal introduction?
Hey, it's episode 107, everybody. Hello. Dominic,
Howdy.
Trix and Ritz are here. Yes, hello.
Yes.
We got the White Albums, one by a Beatrix the Strange. I've never heard of them, but they are around apparently. Some outsider art shit here. Some like really Henry Darger going shit here.
Indeed.
Some real Ritalin for kids shit going.
I don't know about that. I feel like this is very much just like Vivian Girls-esque, just otherworldly. Like there's a whole intricate like thing being created that we're only just seeing glimpses of. This is like the illustrations.
Basically.
Yeah. So I really want to talk about this in depth. I feel like there's a lot to cover. But on top of that, we also have Fleetwood Mac, which is also called the White Album because it's the second album called Fleetwood Mac, and it's the one that has.
I just want to point out how funny it
background.
was that my partner sneezed. Yeah, as Fleetwood Mac, and that's probably actually my opinions as well.
And then, of course, the piece de resistance, the White Albun by TISM, the third go around we had with TISM.
Indeed.
TISMAIE.
SHIT.
They don't say that.
They don't?
Don't think they do.
I think they ended the song by saying shit, or SHIT. I could swear they do.
Oh no, they do it.
I just listened to the song and I couldn't tell you.
It's like my favorite. It's like my favorite song on the album. I hope they got it right.
Yeah. No, sorry, they do SHIT at the end. That's my bad. I am the fake TISM fan. Since we're starting with it, which one do we want to open? Do we want to open with TISM or?
Let's talk about diminishing returns. Yeah.
All right.
Doing TISM. So, 2004, TISM put out their last album, and it's kind of a deluxe album at this point. It's not really a double. It's just they had 1 CD and 2 DVDs, and they decided that they were just going to fill up the whole of it and then practically be done. And from there, we get what personally is not my favorite TISM record, but it's still a TISM record with a lot of strong points and
I would agree.
A lot of funny moments on it. And most importantly, just those bonus features, great on the DVDs. And obviously, the play on words here is that this is the White Albun, not the White Album.
Yes,
in which Dominic, you found the interview where they described why it's called that, in which they said they're just like Jet. They're taking what the Beatles did and changing it very little.
Yes.
Yeah.
One of the best explanations of an album name I've ever seen.
And if you think about it, with how many genres they visit and how many different styles they're trying to do, I can see the White Album comparison.
Mm.
That being said, I kind of wonder how much of this is like secretly a B-sides compilation.
I could see that.
I probably could not tell you that for sure. Like I said, I think as a record, this is not near as great as personally Machiavelli and the Four Seasons was for me, or how much you two actually enjoyed Great Trucking.
Yeah.
That's the thing, is like I like TISM a lot now. Like this is not TISM's best record, but I do think this at least, this cements me as, I like TISM. Maybe not this record specifically, but it's a good record. I like TISM. But I
Yeah.
do, but like from the way some of the songs are really good, and some of the songs, okay, I get what they're trying to do, but it's like, okay, you're really pushing it, like the Charlie Parker song. I'm like, okay, I get what you're doing, but you know,
Yeah, you say this album has good songs in it, and I see and not so good songs, but it actually good songs is a bit of an understatement. I think it actually still has some of the best songs in TISM discography on here. I mean, the opening song is a fucking classic all the time. Everyone else has had more sex than.
yes, you said it was a seminal song for
Yeah.
you as a child
Oh, that was the first TISM song I ever discovered, actually.
because you could
Wow.
relate to it.
Yeah, I was 6 years old. I think I was
I
think
hope
I
you
was-
can relate to it.
No, I think it was actually discovered in 2006, 2007, so I was like 8 or 9. But yeah, I was a young kid when I discovered that song. I think it was just a random YouTube video where they just go put clips of a random cartoon and then put a song behind it and you call it editing.
I
You
love
know, all those
AMVs.
people, 100%. Yeah, they're 100% working on Marvel movies now.
I just love the idea that in Australia, it's TISM AMVs that are the popular thing.
I don't even know if it was a TISM or like an Australian TISM fan or something, or if it was just like someone overseas who just heard the song. Because to be honest, that is like out of all the songs that TISM have put out, that is probably the most actual mainstream friendly song to put out.
Yeah.
It whilst a bunch of their other songs you might go like, oh yeah, you could hear this being played a bit like more mainstream on the radio that would go on, like it would have that appeal. When you think about the actual time period that those songs were made in and stuff and what was kind of popular then, it's actually not always so true in that case.
Yeah, like this
But-
this does not seem like a 2004 record, I will say.
It does not.
Like it sounds like TISM. And TISM like it's the weird thing of in 2004 I think TISM would be outdated, but now I think they'd be just fine. Because music has changed so much. Like 2004 we're talking about like what else is coming out at this point? Like Sufjan Stevens Illinois or something like that.
Yeah.
The sonic landscape of those two things don't exactly line up.
Well, I can tell you right now what was popular in 2004 here in Australia, and it's mostly Franz Ferdinand's "Take Me Out."
Yeah, that alone,
Yeah.
that was a big seminal album in like indie at that time across the world.
But I also in Australia around that time we also had a lot more. We kind of had a start of a change as well as what was popular, and therefore some of the artists and stuff that you're hearing TISM talk about now wouldn't end up being what would shape the future of Australian music over the next a couple of years. Like obviously there's a joke about Jet, and around this time, yeah, Jet had released "Are You Gonna Be My Girl," which is obviously pretty fucking big song. But we're also talking about Powderfinger. But Powderfinger around 2003, 2004, that was probably at the end of their peak of their popularity. And it's not like they're not known in Australia or anything like that.
Right.
They're still obviously quite a big band for us and stuff. But there was kind of a start of a big shift of the kind of music that we start to get. Another like huge, like really fucking huge song in this country around 2004. Don't think it even touched American airwaves. Was Missy Higgins' "Scar," and that was actually also quite big for Triple J Unearthed because that's where she came out from, and we didn't really have much success from just solo people going onto Triple J Unearthed, but that kind of spanned a whole new wave as well, and we started getting more kind of softer and more solo artists and stuff, kind of dominating the airwaves for a bit. Obviously, 2005 as well, Wolf Mother came out, and that was a huge fucking thing. And then Wolf Mother decided that they would still put out music, and then everyone was like, nah, we're just going back to the first album. Wolf Mother is still around, by the way. I don't know why.
Huh. Interesting.
Parade is around as well.
But this is an album, and I think TISM, despite obviously like having been around for quite a while, they've been around mid '80s or something. As far as when they started, can't tell you. This was probably actually a good period for them to stop as well.
Yeah.
It's what more do they actually have to say? So you're probably right that this is a B-sides competition. Maybe this is just everything that they had. But there's still some great moments, and there's some actual just good songwriting.
Yeah.
Even if the joke is a bit thin. Like I rooted a girl who rooted a guy who rooted a girl who rooted a guy who rooted a girl who rooted Shane Crawford.
That's the song I want to bring up, especially that song's going to
be
just stuck in me for a while.
It's fucking catchy.
Rooted a guy,
rooted a girl. And the whole joke is like, oh, look, I've had sex with someone, and if you go down the chain of line of sex, you get to a famous sports player.
Yeah.
That's the joke. And the joke's also famous. And the song's fucking catchy.
Yeah. And then, you have another great song like Diffident Strokes.
Mm.
If you can't love the one you're with, go fuck yourself. Great life philosophy.
Mm.
Indeed.
Now, the other album I want to talk about with this one that is, ripe for comparison is Paging Mr. Strike. Because Machine Gun Fellatio, also kind of a comedy-ish act in some ways. Also very much, at that time, with 2002, the album sounds like 90s albums, and that's kind of Australia catching up to what the sound was, and that's understandable. But that doesn't feel dated in the same way this feels dated. That feels like a nice, cushion, like a little, the era was extended, or a little throwbacky almost. It's interesting.
I would first off, I would argue. I mean, they are around the same time that they came out, so it's actually not an unfair comparison to do. I'd argue that Machine Gun Fellatio were a lot more serious in their actual songwriting, despite obviously they have quite a bit of humor in there as well. I mean, Pussy Town.
Yes,
that's a whole song about giving head.
Yeah,
but also put out there, I think Paging Mr. Strike is a much better album system as well. And I can see where you're doing the comparisons at, but I feel like TISM were more kind of a band that was taking the piss, and their whole songs were satire, whilst Machine Gun Fellatio's songs aren't really satirical. They just have a humorous tinge to them, if you get one.
Sure. No, yeah, I get
that, yeah.
Except for Let Me Be Your Dirty Fucking Whore. That one's just out there for the sake of it.
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing, is TISM has a whole style and a whole thing, and they're, you watch the interviews, and they're keeping kayfabe, they are doing the whole shiny outfits with the masks, and they're not revealing who they are, and they're being satirical for the whole thing.
They revealed who they are. They saw the original members of TISM in the P-plates.
And then they wish for them to get into a car accident.
Yeah.
And then they
called them wankers.
Yes. And so
as TISM said, most of their songs were written on that road in heavy traffic.
Yes. I love the idea that the birth of Uncool is written there. And it has the greatest pun of all time, Bob's You're Uncool.
Yeah.
So, Chicks, did you actually get a chance to watch any of the videos at all?
I did not. I decided to listen to the album one more time before the podcast.
That is fair. So a lot of this information will come out new to you as well. But the interview is very kind of, as Dominic kind of said. I can't remember if it was said on the episode or not. They're kind of winging it the whole time. It feels like they're just saying random shit and then hoping they can kind of fill it out from there. And then they actually kind of do fill it out from there.
Yeah. And it's like DVDs and all that.
You realize that basically after the whole interview that actually learned nothing. It's just a bunch of jokes.
Fair enough.
The only thing that comes close to TISM lore is the whole thing about the first gig happening at the football oval, and that every gig since there has been a reunion gig.
Yeah.
Which I believe they actually did advertise a bunch of shows as a reunion gig.
That's pretty hilarious.
Yeah.
And they can do it all again. Second reunion tour.
Yeah, they are. They actually are performing later this year, and a good thing. So
yeah,
actually, we will get more live TISM. Unfortunately, one of the members is dead, but
that's too bad.
Yes, but they also are re-releasing everything as well.
Yeah, no, they have. They actually re-released this quite recently, I believe, on CD, so it doesn't have the DVDs.
Yeah.
Plus, I believe they've actually got a Bandcamp or something now. Like, yes, they do. You can even buy the TISM Deluxe Omni album.
Wow.
Yeah, $5, and it's got. I think it had a record. I don't know if it actually is true for the longest amount of time on a vinyl, because it's 1 hour and 53 minutes and 15 seconds of absolute silence.
That's incredible.
And yeah, because the whole point of the joke was that they were putting every TISM album onto a vinyl, but to fit it all on one vinyl, they've just turned it to absolute silence. And then the actual hardcover of the Omni album would have the artwork for every album.
Right.
Gotcha.
So, question for you then: is this the third best TISM album, or are there better ones?
Oh no, tism.wanker.com is better.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah. Thunderbird's coming out. Been caught wanking. Great songs.
And what about Hot Dogma?
I haven't actually listened to Hot Dogma, but I think that's my dad's favorite.
Okay,
that sounds like a favorite for a dad, if that makes any sense.
I mean, my dad does like the movie Dogma. If that helps.
Dogma is
a good movie, though.
That's and also to movies, really.
We are getting dangerously close to mentioning the Clip Brown Taint area.
You did it, so you explain. You go for it.
Do I have to explain? Fuck.
Yeah.
It's just an old Kevin Smith tweet from like 2009 where he says, sex with the wife is so good we cheat on each other with each other. It's like that her clit brown taint area pones my dick.
Oh god.
It terrifies me that I can recite that from memory.
That terrifies me. So what I haven't mentioned yet, going back onto the White Album for obvious reasons, is the other DVD that comes with it, the live album, the Save Our TISM Telethon.
Yes, I need to actually watch. I really do want to watch this.
Yes, I won't spoil it for you, Dominic, or other people. I just suggest that people who haven't seen it. It's pretty fucking funny. They actually host a telethon, not on a TV or anything, as a live gig. As a whole, the whole concept is TISM is the entertainment performing TISM song. And there's cuts in between the whole set list to see how the telethon is going and how much of the amount that they needed is raised. And if they get to that amount, TISM will stay together, else they'll split up at the end of the gig.
Lose the election somewhere along the way.
The other one is on behalf of TISM, I would like to concede that we lost the election. That's not on the White Album. That was their actual last show that they did at Bush Doof, where at the very end of it, they announced that they lost the election, and TISM will have to split up.
Gotcha. Okay.
I think there's been constant jokes about TISM splitting up. It's pretty hard to know when they were being serious.
And they're back together anyway, so that was a great 18-year joke. Which, if you think about it, that's about the amount of time that they were a band.
Yeah, it was.
Maybe 20 years, but give or take a couple. I'm just fascinated by this album and where it is in the world and where it is in music history. I need to watch the videos more because I feel bad I didn't do that. But
I don't think this album is something that's in music history. I think TISM is something that's in music history.
Right, but this is the footnote of the last album.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think when we go back and talk about TISM, though, we'll talk about either Great Trucking Songs or Machiavelli in the Four Seasons.
I mean, I do appreciate, I do appreciate them going full balls to the walls and getting the orchestra going and everything. That gives me great Regurgitator I Piss Alone vibes. Because of course, at this point in TISM world, Regurgitator is just right there in their shadow.
Mm-hmm.
In the interviews, you can see Regurgitator posters and whatnot. On Apple Music, I was saying this before, when I was listening on Apple Music, after the album ended, they would just start playing Regurgitator. I
mean, Regurgitator were past their prime popularity by 2004 anyway as well, but mostly because Unit was their prime popularity, but they did exist around the same space and time as them.
Fair enough.
Yeah, fair enough.
So you want to talk about your favorite song off the record, Dominic?
Hey, TISM or shit. Great song.
TISM is shit. Fantastic song.
Great way to end an album.
It just fucking bangs, doesn't it?
Yes, it's great.
Yeah, love it.
Like that's like I love songs that make me do a double take and really listen to it in the middle of it. It's a great example. It's just like, wow, they're really going for it, and that's just exactly what they're saying.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's like, if you want a song that sums up everything TISM is, it's that song.
Yeah, I think it definitely was a great closing note for TISM's discography. They actually have been releasing some demos and original kind of releases as well with Punt Road recently. Their discography. You go first.
Do they have the original Saturday Night Palsy out yet?
I don't think that's out on like a single or something, but the Punt Road version, that does have the shoot heroin in the eye lyrics.
Good.
All right.
That's probably about it for the White Album, to be honest. It's a kind of a great wrap-up of TISM as a band. Even if every note doesn't hit, it's still a fun album. Can't really listen to it and say, hey, I want my money back, because TISM were gone.
Yeah. It peaked at 14 on the ARIA charts. It had its moment, but I really want to do the rest of them.
I never thought you would have said that after the first episode.
I liked
we've really grown on TISM.
I like Machiavelli.
I know you like Machiavelli, but I didn't think you were interested enough to go for the full discography.
Oh, shit.
I like this idea that maybe the White Album is their worst record. I want to see if things get better.
All right.
Favorites and least favorites?
I'll go first. Let me pull. I've got the track list up. The last 5 songs, like from Cerebral Knievel on, are just incredible.
Yeah, we haven't mentioned, by the way, Somebody Start a Fight or something.
Great song.
Yeah, that's a good one.
That's
and also, I rooted a girl who rooted a guy who rooted a girl who rooted a guy who rooted a girl who rooted a Shane Crawford.
Rooted a guy who rooted a girl who rooted a guy who rooted a girl who rooted. It just ends with that on the loop. Good.
Yeah,
and no real least favorites.
For me, favorite songs: I rooted a girl who rooted a guy who rooted a girl who rooted a guy who rooted a girl who rooted Shane Crawford. Diffident Strokes and TISM are shit. No real least favorites.
Favorites, everyone else has had more sex than me. For obvious reasons. Right? It's a bit for nostalgia, a bit because it's a banger. No one's really mentioned a message from a Big Day Out Portaloo, but I think just like the chorus and the way that hits is always a classic. Obviously, I think we all agree. I rooted a girl who rooted a guy who rooted a girl who rooted a guy who rooted a girl who rooted Shane Crawford. It's probably one of TISM's best songs, to be honest.
Yeah.
TISM are shit. Favorites. Least favorite. Something I really hate off this. You would probably agree with this one, Dominic, if you had to pick one. And it's the gotta get the full title out in here. Tonight, Harry's practice visits the home of Charlie Bird Parker.
Yeah, I guess it's just a really random thing. I don't know. Yeah, I guess I would agree. All right. So now we actually can talk about a White Album. So now we're talking about a White Albun. Let's actually get to the topic of the episode: the other 2 White Albums.
Which one? There's so many White Albums. Come on, someone pick a White Album or something.
So the cool thing about Fleetwood Mac is that Fleetwood Mac started out as a blues band, and their whole thing is that they just kept changing people out. Like, they went through like 10 lineup changes in 8 years, and then eventually in comes Lindsey Buckingham and Stevie Nicks, who put out their own unsuccessful album called Nicks and Buckingham that has never been re-released even to this day. And they Mick Fleetwood interviews Lindsey Buckingham, being like, "Hey, we'd like you to join our thing, be the lead singer." And Lindsey Buckingham's like, "Okay, but Stevie Nicks has to come too."
Yeah.
And this British band that was very blues based, to the point that they fucking have a live record where they are in Chicago playing at Chess Records. Becomes this soft rock British American collaboration that is just full of like just fucking affairs and heartbreak and just personal relationships going to shit.
Yeah.
I always think it's funny that Mick Fleetwood's Fleetwood and then John McVie is Mac of all things.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, this is actually their 10th album.
Can I put in my little hot take that we're all expecting?
Yeah.
Nah, let's put this out there. I don't hate this album. I just think it's okay at best. I honestly find the drama and the history of Fleetwood Mac a lot more interesting than I find it.
Yeah, I mean, it's not Rumors, it's not Tusk, it's not like the peak necessarily.
There is some good moments on this record. It's probably very basic of me to say. It's the more popular songs on here. I mean, Rhiannon, yeah, that's got a really good guitar riff.
Yes, and
yep,
songs like Landslide and Say You Love Me are also pretty classic from this era of music.
But everything else, it's like, yeah, there's probably artists that have looked at this and taken inspiration, and I'm probably going to say it's been done better because of stuff like that. I don't know, it's just okay. It's alright. I wouldn't go back to it.
That's fair, I can see that. I love the idea, like, so my problem with Fleetwood Mac is that I could never tell you which voice is Lindsey Buckingham's voice. But now that I've actually listened to it, I can tell you, I think. But for whatever reason, I hear his voice, and I'm either thinking of Stevie Nicks or Christina McVie, the actual two who usually sing on the record, or Christine McVie, I should say.
Mm-hmm.
Because they do a lot of the trade-off, like McVie does Over My Head and Say You Love Me, and Stevie Nicks, of course, does Rhiannon and Landslide, and Lindsey Buckingham does most everything else, with McVie doing similar. But yeah, he has a very feminine voice, which is very interesting.
He does.
Very high pitched, very but it really works really well with what they're doing. Is the other thing. Like, this is the weird thing where they, like, this band just absorbs a duo, and it changes everything, but it also really works for them.
Absolutely.
Like, you never would have guessed that this is the first time they'd ever been together doing this all. And that this was an entirely different band before this. Trix, you're kind of the classic music expert in this podcast.
Fleetwood Mac is one of my weak spots, I'm going to be honest, but you've covered pretty much everything that I would mention. And yeah.
There is
like
one
most
thing.
Regular people, I just want to say, I got all my information from Fleetwood Mac, about Fleetwood Mac, sorry. The way, the best way I could, watching that IT Crowd episode where they parody it.
Fair.
Great episode.
Fair enough, yeah. Yeah, that is a good episode.
Yeah, if for those who haven't seen it, gotta watch the IT Crowd and then just not look up what the writer's political views are.
Yep, fuck Grand Lanham.
Yeah. But Trix, I want you to answer for your crimes.
Yes, what are my crimes? I will answer for them.
The slander you have bestowed upon Stevie Nicks' name.
She is goaty and witchy, and I stand by it.
But do you mean it positively or negatively? Okay, that's what I'm looking for.
I do mean it positively. I love her for it.
You've never clarified that, so I assumed it was an insult.
I can say it negatively if you want.
I assumed that it was out of love.
I
have no hatred.
I can fully believe that you two would hate a legend like Stevie Nicks for no reason. I think that'd be a perfect Dissonant Waves moment.
I think what happened is the first time I brought it up, I meant it seriously, and then it turned into more of a loving joke the more I listened to Fleetwood Mac.
Sure.
I feel like in an actual serious note, like the people who probably like don't actually like Stevie Nicks probably actually thought that Fleetwood Mac would have stayed together. Normally, she's not. I mean, she's not the greatest musician out there, but she's fine. She's got a nice voice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She fits in well with the band. She's got a good voice, and I think she's a vibe in herself. That's the thing.
Yes.
She has a very distinct personality, and like the voice is distinct as well. And she wrote a song about a Welsh witch, which is what Rhiannon is.
Yes.
She has a whole mythology. She wrote like a bunch of songs and like was planning like a musical sort of thing about Rhiannon. There's a whole suite of stuff out there that she has made that has never really seen
Yeah.
the light of day, to my knowledge. She really loves this idea. And then there's, on a different note, on a very different note, there is Blue Letter, which I posted about in the chat because I found it very funny because it's the only song on the album that's not written by one of the band members. It's written by Richard and Michael Curtis, and they had written 2 songs that were supposed to be for Buckingham Nicks, which is, one of them is Blue Letter. The other one is now a Crosby, Stills, and Nash song called Southern Cross.
Yes.
And I think it's interesting that those 2 songs were meant to originally be like paired, and now they're very different.
Yes.
Remember as well when I can't remember what song it was off this. I think it was off Rumors actually. It got popular on TikTok and so
Dreams.
Dreams. It was Dreams School thing, and obviously when a song gets popular on TikTok, the Gen Z generation starts listening to it a lot more because why wouldn't you? That's literally how meme or viral songs work. And the whole there was a bunch of boomers practically who got pissed off that it's like, oh, these kids don't even know Fleetwood Mac or weren't born at that time. And my brother did a fucking great comment. He said all these people are complaining about the kids listening to Fleetwood Mac and name a single song that's not off Rumors.
And that's true. Also, I just want to share the Buckingham Nicks cover art because it is something.
Let's see this.
It's a very different vibe.
Oh, jeez.
Not gonna lie, I would fuck them.
They look like a swinger couple.
And that's only increasing my chances. That's increasing my chances, Trex.
Oh, it reminds me of that Last Snatch album.
The what album?
Hold up. The Last Snatch album.
But it's really weird to me that Fleetwood Mac is so popular, and this album has never been re-released, and in like a, hey, this is kind of part of things too, kind of way. Because some of the songs that were supposed to be for their second album are on the White Album. Blue Letter is one of them. Crystal was a B-side from their duo album. There's another.
That's a 2017 remaster of this on Spotify. I assume they re-released it.
Of the White Album, yes, but not Buckingham Nicks.
Oh, Buckingham Nicks. Ah, that's the one you're on about. That's
yes.
Yeah.
That's actually me when I have sex. I grab the tuba.
It's a French horn, you dick.
I'll grab the trumpet next time. It's honestly one of the best cover arts of all time, to be honest.
Yeah,
it really is. And it's hard to believe. I think it's a ska album.
That just makes it better. Fuck, we should just do that album.
Yeah, fuck it. Why not?
I think we have to do that at some.
Like, when we reference things enough, we need to do them eventually. I've referenced Shadow the Hedgehog soundtrack a couple times. We just talked about the Fando. We need to do Shadow the Hedgehog at some point.
It's reggae, not ska.
It's
That's
only 2013. That's crazy though. We haven't done reggae.
Yeah, we've not touched reggae yet.
Yeah.
Oh, we've sort of touched on it a little bit with Rush.
But that's
in that way you can say we've kind of touched it with Sticky Fingers.
Yeah. But yeah.
But it's also very funny to me that, like, despite Fleetwood Mac being a classic band now, defining what is very much like a soft rock country vibe in this era of their stuff, that they can never stay quite like most classic bands do and just be like together. Like, there's still drama happening.
Yeah.
There's always still drama happening.
There's always drama in Fleetwood Mac.
Like, fucking Lindsey Buckingham has now been fired twice from the band. Most recently,
What a goal.
Most recently in 2018.
And who's in Fleetwood Mac now? I believe that would be Mr. Neil Finn.
Neil Finn and Mike Campbell of fucking Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers.
We should say, for those who can't remember, Neil Finn is Crowded House fame.
And Split Ends.
And Split Ends. Mostly Crowded House, though.
Yeah, so they onboarded both of those two when they fired Buckingham. But the question is, like, what are they doing? What else is Fleetwood Mac doing at this point that requires them to fire him, other than he's just not doing the shit he should be doing? Like, that's so wild to me. Like, this is his lifeblood.
Yeah.
Yeah, every time I remember, like, as a kid in primary school, there was all these Fleetwood Mac reunion tours that always get posted, and I was just thinking, oh yeah, sure, that would be a fun time. If you wanted to go to a Fleetwood reunion tour, or a Fleetwood Mac reunion tour, you could probably just go to your racist uncle's Thanksgiving dinner instead, and you get the same amount of attention.
Basically.
Yeah.
In some parts of America, you get just as much attention as the Rumors album.
Alabama.
And, you know, if you want to see what Stevie Nicks did after she broke up Buckingham, she really had a life. Going with Don Henley and Joe Walsh, like,
yeah,
she really upgraded.
Yeah,
the dream.
But yeah, this is an album that is fine. It works. It's cool to kind of reflect on it. It's not like the most flashy album in the world. I think, you know, the White Albun is much more like flashy in your face, but you know, for talking about like a really weird band, like especially within like the classic landscape, that, you know, either a lot of bands broke up really quickly back in the day, or they like survived with mostly the same people.
Yeah.
You know, it's like the classic thing of like Led Zeppelin broke up when John Bonham died. The Beatles all just broke up when they couldn't stand each other anymore.
Yeah.
Rush was Rush until Neil Peart died, basically. But even then, they already had stopped.
Yeah, they had stopped 2013, I want to say.
Yeah, like Rolling Stones have started to continue after their drummer died, but that band's been pretty consistent once they figured that lineup. Once that lineup was figured out.
Yeah.
But here's Fleetwood Mac with just fucking 18 million people coming in and out. It's fascinating to me that they found so much success, and you can't really contribute it to any specific people because they're only there for how many albums? You only get Mick Fleetwood, John McVie, and Christine McVie, the people who have really stayed through most of it.
Yeah.
I've got nothing else to say about this record, to be honest.
Yeah.
I have one thing I'd like to mention. Did either of you watch the SNL sketch I posted?
No.
Watching Saturday Night Live, I'm good.
When did you post that?
It was yesterday, I think. It is all I think of whenever I hear about Stevie Nicks or Fleetwood Mac, and it's Lucy Lawless and Stevie Nicks Fajita Roundup.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I did not watch that. I will watch that.
It is quite all right. It is just all that is in my brain.
I think of the better SNL shtick when Kenan Thompson had his "What's Up with That" skit, and every episode would feature Lindsey Buckingham, played by Bill Hader.
Fair enough.
The joke was that he was always supposed to be interviewed, but they never got to him, and so he'd be upset.
Fair enough.
And then he'd be invited back to the next episode, and then he'd be there again. Oops, never got to interview you.
The thing worth mentioning about this Lucy Lawless sketch is that she pulls off Stevie Nicks so flawlessly that it's fun. It's not even funny.
That's fair. Well, at some point, I'm sure we will do Rumors, but that is not right now.
Yeah, it is not.
For now, we have to figure out what our favorites and least favorite are, and for me, my favorite is Rhiannon. My least favorite, probably something like Sugar Daddy or I'm So Afraid. I don't know, it became a bit of a slog to get through at the end, not gonna lie.
Yeah. I'm actually gonna agree with that.
I'll mostly agree with that. Favorites, Rhiannon. I like Say You Love Me. That's like a classic, nice song to listen to. Like that's pretty like alright. I'm not tired of it, like I'm tired of like a lot of songs from this era. I also thought World Turning was an interesting song I've not heard as much. But my least favorite's Crystal. Crystal feels like a slog to get through.
And now it's finally here. You remember so many weeks ago when you just criticized my musical output?
Yeah.
Tricks.
feel free to fucking rail into how shit the CP is.
Hey, I want to just say for the record, I have always been positive and supportive of Ritz's music career.
Yeah.
I want to point out that I have been very supportive and positive towards any musician who puts out music that I can absolutely shit on with my own remix.
Yes.
That helps my career. That being said, Trix, there was one comment that you know damn well that you've had fucking coming ever since you put this out. When you make a mistake, start over.
Yeah,
Redo it.
Too lazy. No, I wanted the mistakes. I wanted it to be raw.
There's raw.
It's not raw. It's just
there's raw, and there's fucking a two-headed boy.
Yeah, I'm okay. Hear me out on that one.
Hear me out.
I was dealing with a sick puppy at the time. I was literally on like my 200th attempt at recording that. It took me over 2 hours to record that, and when I got close enough, I'm like, that's good enough.
It's actually the song. I just want to say, your cover of Two-Headed Boy is the song I remixed the least.
That's absolutely fair.
I don't hate it. I think, it's nice to have a different interpretation of the song on ukulele or something like that.
Yeah.
But also, I can accept a screw up, maybe two. If it's like, spread out enough or something. But like, this was a good handful.
Yeah, I realize.
This is like, oh god, I have to look at my lyrics.
You're pissed off. You pissed off our religion, Trix.
Yeah, I'm absolutely fine with that criticism.
You are being burned at the stake.
My original recording wasn't better, I'll say that. This was the better recording.
I'm just glad we can cover Neutral Milk Hotel again. Neutral Milk Hotel is great. Have you listened to In the Airplane Over the Sea? It's a great album.
A great album.
Now, I'm going to review this EP without the cover because I feel like the cover is more of a bonus track. And we've actually got 4 songs on here. And it's very quick, it's very lo-fi, the vocals are completely muffled. Yeah. And honestly, the lyrics make no sense and mean absolutely nothing. This is a Raccoon Love EP.
You're not wrong.
It is a Raccoon Love EP, you're correct.
You're not wrong at all.
However, I need to state that I think by accident, you've created something that, if it was put into the right channels, could pop off.
That's what I was thinking once I finished it, if I'm going to be honest.
But I'm not talking about the album in total. I'm talking specifically about Sad in July.
Yeah.
Sad in July has the perfect mix of lo-fi sound. The voice is muffled in just the right way. It sounds like a country-ish, like just... It has the right vibe, is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
It's a vibe that doesn't exactly work for the Coward's Way, but Sad in July, everything is balanced.
The original... You want to know something funny? The original recording for The Coward's Way was much worse.
Please tell me you still have those files.
They are. It's just on my computer.
You are 100% have to fucking give me those, and I will put it on the deluxe album.
Okay.
The Coward's Way original take.
We're going to release. We can release this whole fucking album as a deluxe edition. It will be the first 5 songs as the actual thing, and then everything else is just shit takes.
Hey, it works for Your Arms My Cocoon.
Yeah.
Instead of Dismiss
and
Yourself
then we'll get
Records.
a live performance from Trix as well, which is this album anyway. It's just a live album, but
so for Ritz, for your end of year radio show, you should forgo some of the spoken word segments and just have Trix do a live cover of one of these songs.
Okay.
Yeah. It'll be something like, oh yeah, this next artist is Black Country New Road, but you don't want to hear about that, so here's my song.
Yeah.
I didn't expect Trix to actually have the ukulele up. That caught me off guard.
I wasn't even sure if you guys could hear it.
I could hear it just barely.
Yes.
I always have a ukulele within arm's reach of me.
Even when you're pacing out in the fields?
Yes. I keep one strapped to my back.
Got it.
See, actually, you know what? I will get Trix to just do a random song over the radio show, but I'll piss her off by making it one of the artists that Trix loves.
Okay.
And I'll probably at this rate, it'll probably be Adult Mum.
That might be hard to find the chords, and because I'm not good at figuring out chords myself.
I won't fucking tell you what artist I'm gonna put it on until it's happened.
I'm gonna need at least a week in advance to learn the chords in the song.
He's not asking you to cover the song. He's just saying he's gonna put
it's
it
just,
in front of one of the songs.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Sorry, I am tired. It is. Yeah.
No, I'm playing the actual song because imagine just number one plays and just like, yeah, I didn't have the rights to play this, so you know, here's tricks for ukulele. Imagine you had to do a whole. In fact, you should just do the whole 100 song. 100 Gex has an album out, so that'll just make it a little harder.
How do I make 100 Gex sounds on a ukulele?
I remixed it and got close. That's all I'm just gonna say.
I think what you've remixed and shown us so far has been quite wonderful.
Yeah.
That was such a fucking great remix, honestly. It sounds so beautifully shit.
It does.
So Trix, I have to ask, what is your thinking behind doing an intro song and then two tracks later an interlude?
The interlude was off the cuff and isn't on the original. And it was just I like these chords. This sounds pretty. I'm putting it in.
An exclusive to this specific version.
Yes.
This could have been 25 seconds shorter.
It could have been 25 seconds shorter.
Wow.
But I gave you more to work with.
Oh, trust me, I used it. And so I want to point out just a fun little fact about that remix album that you see that I have here.
Yeah.
There is only one fucking song out of all of these that uses something other than Trix's EP in it.
Damn.
And that's Song for Louie, which uses that audio sample that Dominic had from his old EP.
Damn. Yes. I will say, I literally recorded this album just for the joke of I'm doing my own album for the White Album.
Yeah, we figured that.
Yeah. Which is,
and I feel like I did pretty good for that.
Funny joke. Can only do it
it's
one
better
time,
than Death Slamming Fun.
No. Yeah.
You don't think it's better than Death Slamming Fun?
No.
Wow. I can't believe someone likes my own album more than me.
Now, Sad in July is a better song than anything on Death Slamming Fun. I will tell you that.
Oh, yeah.
Fair enough. That is probably my best song I've ever written.
But I can tell you at least that it's a better album than Slythamine EP.
Fair enough.
Alright, you're gonna have to. I'm gonna put Dominic on the spot, and he has 30 seconds to answer this. You gotta rank all the EPs in the album compared to not only this EP from Trix, but her old EP from 2020 as well.
Okay, give me a second here.
This is better than my EP from 2020 in every way.
Oh, I agree, but we're still gonna have Dominic.
Let's just say what's already on the books here. The current ranking I have for your stuff is number 1, Dissonant Waves Live the Anniversary Show. Number 2, Desk Slamming Fun. Number 3, Smash Desk. Number 4, Noreen. Number 5, Miss Orsa. Number 6, Slythamine.
Cool.
If I'm going to put Trix's current EP in there, I'm gonna put it above Smash Desk. So below Desk Slamming Fun and Live the Anniversary Show, but above most everything else. Now, as for the other EP, I will probably put that around the Miss Orsa, either above or below Miss Orsa.
Fair enough.
All right.
Not the worst thing I've heard. I just think Slythamine is so minimal that it is just the worst EP or anything from this year.
Indeed.
You think it will be, but then some random artist will put out something absolutely atrocious and will actually say for some reason that Slythamine was better. Just you fucking wait.
I mean, Foxy Shazam got close.
I'm not counting on winning. I'm counting on not coming last.
That's very fair.
That is fair.
Nonetheless, though, I do have to commend your efforts to do something special for us. It's a joke you can never do again. It's a joke you can never do again.
It's a joke I can never do again. But I thought it was going to be a fun joke.
Yeah, it's 50-50. Better than what it could have been.
I just wish we had listened to Angela Transberry also.
Yeah, in hindsight, I really should have done that, but I thought this joke was going to be better.
I made it better with the remix album.
You did.
And that will be released, and you all have to hear the remix album at some point. Not today. Probably once the EPs and everything sorted out.
That's fair.
All right.
It'll be this EP will return on this podcast before the end of the year.
Oh yeah,
indeed.
And we have about 3 months to do it.
Yep.
And it also comes into 3 months, knowing that holy shit, we got a lot of 2022 stuff to cover, don't we?
Oh indeed. Yeah.
And I have some other stuff that's not 2022 that I still would like to cover.
And are we doing the 2022 next week?
Not next week. It's the week after.
It's the week after? I'm going to do a 2022 anyways.
Yeah, same.
That's fine. I just have an album I've wanted to pick for a while, so I'm going to do it.
All right.
Are we probably all going to agree that practically the 3-2-1 this week is going to be like the same? So they're all going to be Beatrix, Fleetwood, and then TISM?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep, cool. We've speedrun that part. Favorites of this EP, by the way. 100% Sad in July. Yeah, I actually agree with Dominic. You're not getting in my top 200 with that song. Let's not beat around the bush or anything. But
I wasn't expecting to.
But for a little ditty that you seem to have kind of made on a whim, it's all right. You seem to work better when you just create off a whim. To be honest.
Yeah.
And just go with what works. You should do that more often. To be honest, you might find some more flow and get a cooler EP out eventually.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm also a little sad you didn't do any of your songs that you also wrote already.
I couldn't figure out how to instrumentate them.
Fair.
Least favorite is you fucked up the cover.
Yeah, I'll accept that.
The good songs are I Sat on the Beach Until Night Fell, especially Sad in July, but I like Interlude too. The bad songs are Coward's Way and Two-Headed Boy Cover.
Fair enough. It's my child. I can't pick a favorite.
A least favorite?
That's the Coward's Way.
Yeah, I'll just it's my child again.
Okay.
I spent so much time with these songs. I can't separate them in my head at this point.
Alrighty, that leads us into next week.
Alrighty then.
Who wants to start off?
Well, since I'm the only
I will.
Okay.
I gave you guys 3 options. An artist we covered recently, an artist we covered a couple years ago, and Porcupine Tree. Domino chose Porcupine Tree, and Ritz chose an artist we haven't covered in a couple years. And I flipped a coin earlier, and so we're gonna go with an album that we haven't, an artist we haven't covered in a couple years. And I'm going to do Horse Jumper of Love's 2022 album.
Ooh.
What is it called?
Which I'm pulling it up. I forget off the top of my
Natural
head.
Part.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm actually excited to do this because I haven't actually heard this or any of the singles.
Me either.
Horse Jumper of Love is something that I enjoyed a bit more after giving a bit more listen. So I'm happy to see if this does actually change. It changed my recorded opinions of them.
The artist that I was going to the third option was going to be Arlie's 2022 album.
Ah, yes.
I think I've knew that one as well. Did I put Arlie on my short list? Yes, I did. Yeah, Break the Curse, that one's called, isn't it?
Yeah.
Cool. Dominic, did you want to go next?
Sure. As the only one picking a non-2022 album this year, I would just like to say that 2 years ago, I picked an album that we all kind of liked and was one of my favorites, and I've always wanted to pick this other one because this is sort of a B-sides / second half of the album that came out a year later. Kind of talking about the year of the double album, we are now finally going to go back to Sufjan Stevens and do The Avalanche. Now Takes and Extras from the Illinois album.
All right.
Cool. All and it's now for me, and when we get into this period, I go and say, shit, it's the end of the year. I need to cover all the 2022 albums that I haven't quite covered yet. Mm-hmm. And there is going to be a lot of 2022 albums that I want to cover, and occasionally I'm going to double up. This is one of those weeks where I'm going to double up.
Okay.
So first one we're going to do is one that was added onto the Homer's Ware Fifth Wave Emo playlist. recently is from the Melbourne emo act Bigger Boot, A Fork on My Fingers. We're going to cover that one because experimental emo seems to get a lot of favor on this podcast, and I feel like I need validation that I already got this week anyway with TISM. But the other one is the one that I've been just listening to constantly, and I think Dominic needs to finally actually give this album a listen as well. And we're going to do the new Cheek Face record as well.
Yes, okay. That actually makes a lot of sense. What is it called?
Too Much to Ask.
A Fork or My Fingers, and Too Much to Ask. Interesting. Okay.
All right.
So that leaves us with Trix picking Horse Jumper Love's new album, Natural Part. Riddlin picking both Bigger Boot's new album, A Fork or My Fingers, and Cheekface's new album, Too Much to Ask. And me, the one outsider, picking Sufjan Stevens' The Avalanche, Outtakes and Extras from the Illinois album.
All right.
That'll do it for
I just want to say, I do plan as well to potentially do create a lot of albums over this time, but I will be trying to make sure that it won't be too much listening over these couple of weeks.
Yes, I appreciate that.
Fair enough.
That being said,
this one's technically actually less time than the Avalanche with these two albums.
They don't end up to an hour?
No, Avalanche is an hour and 15 minutes, wasn't it?
Yes, they are. It is.
Yeah, and this one's an hour and 10 minutes. These two.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Wow. This has been Dissonant Waves then. Time has been an illusion. We will see you all next time.
Until then, I've been Riddle, and you can catch me on my website, riddle.github.io. I also have a YouTube channel that's linked in the description below. Trix, you go.
I have been Trix. You can catch me on Twitter at procrastinaut_. It's like procrastinating astronaut and then an underscore. I have other shit. Buy our merch, buy a clock with our logo on it. And catch us all on Twitter, YouTube, dissonantwaves.space.
I'm Dominic. Catch me online on Twitter at DACICHOCKI. I have a YouTube channel, Dominic Chikoki. If you really want to check that out, my short film Beat is on there. I'm also been on the Games My Mom Found podcast. I've been on a few episodes. Most recently, I believe, we have one about Radical Dreamers that should be up soon. Other than that, anyone else has anything to say it now. Forever hold your peace.
Forever hold your piss.
I'm holding in piss right now.
It's my Trix.
Well, don't let me stop you from going to let it out. Have a great night, everybody.
Bye.